Hello, we're doing the guided practice problems, problems 15, 16, and 17 at the end of section 5-3, just like you're going to see with the homework. For this section, for these type of problems, we're going to do everything that we did, except we're just going to do it backwards. What's the old joke about who's the better dancer, Fred Astaire or Grace Kelly? Grace Kelly did everything that Fred Astaire did, except backwards and in high heels. So, we're going to do all the steps that we had. We're just going to do it backwards. And I just want to show you the last, just for example, the last page that I wrote on. We're going to start with this. We're going to go to here, and then we're going to go to here, and then we're going to go to here. So we're just doing everything backwards. So, first thing I have is that x equals 3. I also have x equals 4. Now, I'm going to go backwards and set both of these equal to 0 by adding -3 to both sides. X subtract 3 equals 0. And over here, x subtract 4 equals 0. You know, I mentioned in a previous video about getting you ready for more advanced math. Later in my class, when we get to something called division of polynomials, this idea of 3 and -3, that is going to be very, very important, especially when we teach a method called synthetic division. Just put a little pin in that for now. This binomial and that binomial, if I multiply those binomials, I get 0. Now, this part is my function. That's my quadratic function. I found out that my quadratic function equals 0 when x equals 3 and x equals 4. Okay? But now I'm going to actually talk about it in terms of, well, the original function I have would have been whatever x subtract 3 and x subtract 4 is. So now, I'm almost finished with this problem. The only thing is these pesky directions that say write it in standard form. So again, if you're comfortable with FOIL, that's fine. If you're comfortable with multiple distribution, that's fine. All Algebra 1 teachers teach it differently. Me, I am not a big fan of FOIL because I don't believe in teaching tricks without understanding what's happening. If you understand it, then FOIL is something that we don't actually do. The method you do, you don't do, okay, what's the first, what's the outer, what's the inner, what's the last? That seems silly. What I like to do is I like to teach it using you know me, I like to show you ways to organize your thinking. This is a multiplication chart, and we've been using this for a lot of the factoring that we've done. X times x is x squared. This time I'm multiplying, I'm going backwards. X times -4 is -4x. -3 times x is -3, and -3 times -4 is 12. So my function in standard form is x to the second power, that's that. -3 plus -4 is -7x plus 12. Now, that being said, that problem being done, these two problems, if you're really paying attention, you can use that beautiful brain of yours. We'll do it the way that I set it up, and we'll see if you catch what you could have done. Okay? The two zeros are going to be -4 and -4. This is a multiplicity. So I get x equals -4, x equals -4. Since it's a multiplicity, I probably don't need to do this step twice. I'd be doing the same thing. I'm going to add 4 to both sides and get x plus 4 equals 0. That's the same thing I get over here. So my function, and actually I'll start by giving the 0, is going to be x plus 4 times x plus 4. Because that's the same thing I have over here. What the heck, I'll write it. If you're just looking at the picture, you probably wonder, why didn't you finish that? All right, so that's my function. f of x equals x plus 4 times x plus 4. Except I need to write it in standard form. And you're probably saying, but wait, isn't there a pattern? Yeah, we'll see it. This is x squared, this is 4x, so is that, and this is 16. So in simplified standard form, I get x squared plus 8x plus 16. And this is what we were talking about the whole time, or I hinted at the beginning. This is a perfect square trinomial. How do I know it's a perfect square trinomial? Because I started off with 2 equal zeros. So I ended up with the perfect square. This is x times x, this is 4 times 4, and this is 4x plus 4x. So I probably, if I recognized that I was going to end up with 2 of the same zeros or 2 of the same roots, or 0 since we're talking about functions, if I talk about 2 of the same zeros, I might remember that I'm always going to end up with a perfect square trinomial. Problem number 17, I got x equals 3. That tells me that x subtract 3 equals 0. And the other one is x equals 0, which kind of tells me that I got x subtract 0 equals 0. But I don't think I actually need that. I can just say x equals 0. So my equation is going to be x subtract 3 times x. Now if you want to put x subtract 0, just remember x subtract 0 is the same as x. So I think I only need x because it's keeping it simple. Oh, okay. Let's name it. This is going to be my function, x subtract 3 times x. And now just remember that just like all I have is that part. I don't have both parts. I just have that part. This is x times x, which is x squared, and x times negative 3, which is negative 3x. And that's all that I have for that one. All right, good luck with everything. Ask questions in the discussion. We'll see you in class.